Welcome to the Internet Culture Podcast, and today we're playing Lasers. It's a little free game on Steam, and I thought it was a little silly and quirky, and it kind of looks like sexy Fall Guys. But with that being said, let's get right into the game and the podcast. You guys know we got the killer titles this week, or killer topics this week, and what else to start a banger podcast with talking about Austin McBroom. So, yeah. This I'm going to quickly glaze over because I do have a full video on it. But, a very important thing is you have to know the backstory on this. Austin McBroom, kind of an a-hole. His whole marriage, kind of an a-hole. I just died immediately. His whole marriage, he's always been kind of an a-hole. He is a lot of things saying that he cheated on his wife, a lot of things that said he did other things and was very unfaithful in all ways. But the whole point is that he has just not been a great guy to his wife. Christina is her name, and she divorced the guy. And though that story is not necessarily told on their Instagrams, it seems like they act like it was a mutual thing. I imagine that it was just that she got tired of his crap, or he got bored of her. He's not a great guy. It's actually a good thing that they ended up getting divorced, because hopefully she is able to find more happiness without him. And that's about all there is to really say about that. Ace Family is not going to be over. If you're a big avid Ace Family watcher, you're not going to miss your content. And very interesting. Good to know. Good to hear. And we're going to figure out what happens.
Did they give any specific reason?
No specific reason. They said it was a mutual breakup, and that's all there was to it, honestly. Oh. It's very interesting, tight beat.
No. Sad for the family, obviously, but
yeah, that sucks.
For the kids.
Yeah, I mean, at least on the kids front, the woman she clearly cares about her kids. Austin McBroom, I can't really say if he cares about his kids that much. I mean, they're a family channel, so I imagine there's some interesting
he kind of sells them out
behind
from
that.
what I heard, though, right?
Yeah, he also has big rumors of trying to be an OnlyFans manager. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically just a predatory scheming on women that are on OnlyFans. I have my opinions on OnlyFans. I feel like it's going to be hard to get a job in the future. But now he's taking away their money in the present as well by being an OnlyFans manager, which you don't need if you're an OnlyFans creator from everything I've seen.
Yeah, OnlyFans managers are the
extremely
weirdest
predatory
people.
From what I've seen.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up, man. And then that's like, he wants to be one, or he is one?
He's been reaching out to countless women trying to be their OnlyFans managers.
Why do you need a manager for that?
It's just like a social media manager. He kind of claims that he would help them grow and help them become better and figure out more things on that. I probably shouldn't do this. Help them do more things, and there's some truth to it, but a lot of negative to it, and obviously he's just trying to steal their money. But anyways,
you know what? Yeah, that's sad because he's a family man as well. I mean,
he's supposed to be. He's also supposed to be a Christian man as well, which doesn't make sense. You're literally trying to be a pimp while you're a Christian man. Doesn't make much sense at all.
Yeah.
I lost. I don't understand what I was doing.
With that being said, there is some happy news that I can share, and that happy news is Jidion apparently is returning to YouTube.
But
so
yeah,
everybody kind of knows that Jidion had this big transformation with God and Jesus, and though he has his beliefs, and a lot of people would disagree with his belief of taking down his prank content in favor for only Christian content. Ultimately, it's what he did, and he was happy with it. But with that being said, I think everybody can agree that watched Jidion before, there was a big old gap in their heart where there should have been Jidion content. And I, for one, am very excited that he's back.
It is really cool to see him back. He's always been one of my favorite YouTubers, man. I mean,
yeah.
He's such a good guy. His personality, he has a good personality. But the caveat in that, he's not doing prank videos. He's coming back to YouTube, but he is not doing prank videos. And if you watch the video, he states that very clearly, because he wants to obviously still like hold himself to the same morals. If you actually his main reasoning for coming back was the bag. He said basically, if you know anything about his newer videos, it's all very much Christian related content, and
you can't make much money off of that.
You know, yeah, and he still needs a living, which is fair. So I think it's I'm just glad that he was honest about it. He was just like, yeah, guys, like I actually just need my money, and that's why I'm doing this. But
you also have to look at it from a perspective of he's got editors he has to pay, he's got cameramen he has to pay, he's not got a cheap house whatsoever. If he wants to keep his style of life, he's gonna have to do that.
And that's the thing, yeah. It's like, but his new content basically, he said he's gonna be playing video games, doing like vlogs and stuff, like where he's just talking to his viewers, and I'm really excited for that. I want to see where that goes. And and as a Christian, I hope that boosts his other content as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's gonna be running both that Christian content as well, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Nuckwit, anything on there?
No, I got nothing. It's just good that it's cool that he's getting open to trying other things too,
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Can't wait to see where it goes. Ugh.
Yeah, this game is difficult. That's why I'm spectating right now, because I lost the last game.
Dude, I found a way to get through the first 2 or 3. I just can't get past the last one. There we go, dude. I almost had it there too.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got do either of you have anything else?
Yeah, so my next thing that I wanted to talk about was real quick a Rocksteady game. And I wanted to hand this mainly off to Nuckwit to kind of start it, and then I can finish this off. But
are we talking about the Suicide Squad game that's coming out? Yeah, so that I don't really have much to say on that, other than I mean, it looks cool. I'm a big fan of like the Batman Arkham games, but they announced that like 2 years ago, and I have barely seen anything about it since. Like I've seen like some pop-ups here and there, but apparently the game is coming out in like less than a month. Not even.
Out of nowhere, bro.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be like this big AAA game, because it's not just like it's using like very popular DC characters. Like the Justice League are in it. They're not. I don't think they're going to be playable, but a lot of popular other DC characters outside of the Justice League are in it too, like Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark's been a really popular one that's been blowing up, and Captain Boomerang. And it's like gone completely under my radar, at least. I have no idea if anyone else has been keeping up with it. But it's just crazy. Like I know other games are coming out too, and I've been seeing stuff about it. But that's like the only game that's like kind of been going under my radar, which is crazy.
Well, and the thing is, like, have they been announcing it very much, like talking about it?
I looked it up last night, and it turned. I guess there has been a lot of promo on it, but it's like it's been going like
under my radar, man.
Yeah. Completely.
Wow, that's really exciting. And who's developing it?
Rocksteady Games.
Same people that made Arkham games.
Oh, what? Dude, that's gonna be fire.
Apparently, it's a sequel to the Batman games that came out.
It's gonna be a direct sequel?
That's what they said, but looking at the promo for it, it's a little bit weird where they're going with it.
Maybe.
Also, given the fact that it could be whatever. It's a bit. I did see that the voice actor for the Batman did pass away last year, Kevin Conroy, and I did look up. He is going to be starring in this game as Batman, but they did update the game when it comes out. There's going to be a little monument to it's a little tribute to him in the game that you can find. It's cool, and I think they did that for another voice actress too who passed away. I'm not sure who though.
I'm not gonna lie, I've played this level a couple of times, and I am pretty sure it's impossible. Like not impossible, but it's really hard. You have to just be lucky and time everything perfectly, basically.
Yeah, it's hard to tell like when they're coming at you.
Yeah, there's not really a good tell. I mean, I also make just stupid mistakes too. With that being said, off of some game topics, I want to talk really quickly about something that the Ubisoft director said. He was talking about gamers getting used to not owning their games. And if you don't know what that means, he's talking about gamers owning subscription services rather than actually owning their games. That did not touch me.
8, 7, 6.
But instead of actually owning their games, he basically says that the future is going to be subscription services. You're not actually going to own your game. It's going to be just simply you pay a service and you can lose it at any point. I've had a lot of people take very hard stances against this, and I want to try to play devil's advocate because I know that you guys are definitely going to have a strong opinion against this. So I would just like to have some sort of debate. I'm going to defend him in his perfect little dreamland, and you guys can go against my defense, okay? So this is just like a little game almost, okay?
Okay.
So basically,
So, I mean, you're gonna start out with your defense?
gamers need to not own their games because subscription services are actually cheaper in the long run because you get more games.
it's like a, you know, yeah, you get more games, but you don't really own. I mean, like not having ownership of the games, it has the ability to be taken away at any time. A streaming service takes away a game. Because, like, think about it like this way, bro. Like, even Xbox Game Pass loses games. Like, new games come, they lose games. Stuff like that. Like, those games could be lost at any time. And those could be your favorite games. And if you're not buying any games, then you're just going to lose your favorite game. Like, you have that chance no matter what.
Yeah. Also, I think the argument that people haven't made, but I think it's one that popped up in my head after you brought this up, when you first brought it up to me. What if, like, you know, that particular service gets shut down and that's like the only place you can get that game, and then that whole ability to like replay it years down the line with like your younger brother, like getting the whole chance to like grow up with something or have something grow close to your heart becomes less of a ability. I worded that completely horrible.
No, I get what you're saying. It's shareability. There's no shareability. You can't share a streaming service platform game because guess what? You have to either play it with them at that given moment that you are subscribed to the service, or you have to do this. But I'm here to argue as devil's advocate that there's probably going to be a stream service in the future that is going to hold that game. So you just have to look up that stream service at the time. And you're going to get other perks.
That's just impossible.
But is it impossible if we all move towards this? If we all move towards this
Well, that's the thing, though, is that we never will.
But what if we do, is the point. This is
like,
the future.
It'll kill gaming in my opinion.
I think it is a new era. I think you're right about that. I don't think it will, there will literally, like, in every sense, there will always be someone who doesn't want to move over that new wave.
Yeah.
Including, like, I mean, you know, I can think of, dude, my EA just opened up while I was playing. Sorry, I think.
Speaking of subscription services.
Yeah, literally. Speaking of, I'm so annoying. But and it's not to say that I don't own some subscription services, because I do. Like, I think that they can be useful. I mean, I have Xbox Game Pass, you know, stuff like that. But in terms of like replayability, being able to go back to something, or just a lot of people use video games as a market. I mean, there's people who resell, people who have nostalgia factor, all sorts of stuff like that. Maybe like 60 years, 50, 60 years from now, you can look at it and be like, okay.
So loud. One sec. The game just blared in my ears. I don't think anybody on my end heard you.
I'm saying, like, you know, I could see like decades from now that being the case, where that's the new norm. But even then, I feel like there will be a large margin of gamers who are not doing that, or doing that only because they're forced to, or you know, if streaming services are the only playable ways in the foreseeable future, because that seems like what we're moving towards. Because it's I want to say it's definitely a very much a money thing, way to make more money. But if that is something that we're moving towards, I feel like there's people who will almost boycott the gaming industry.
Yeah.
I feel like the game industry would easily be boycotted because of that. So that's my take on it.
I have like almost the completely same take on it. Like my argument that kind of popped up in my head was like you know how like normal subscription services with TVs and movies and all that are sort of like dying out right now. Well, they're not technically like completely dying out,
Well, they're
but you
booming. Cable is failing.
Yeah,
Cable is failing.
Absolutely failing, and
But
streaming services are taking over. So
there's also
Cable's very different though.
I mean,
than this situation.
they're not completely taking over
Well,
either.
I think you're trying to compare like an apple to an orange here, and so TV services. I'm actually on your guys' side now again, but TV services. The reason why streaming services work there is because you never owned the TV show. You always watched it on TV. That has been the standard always. It didn't change. And the only thing that has changed as of recent is that now you can't buy DVDs as frequently. But at the same time, does anybody even own a DVD player? Nobody owns a DVD player. So at that point, you're not necessarily even looking at a matter of streaming services took over. More so, nobody even had DVD players and things like that in the first place. So it's not necessarily
I think you're right.
a future thing.
It's too different of an industry. Yeah.
And I think that's where the CEO is kind of looking at things and saying, oh, well, TV's doing it. We should do it too. It makes sense for us to do it. And he's not, I think, personally, he's missing the point of what gamers have always wanted. And yes, there's places like the Steam store where technically, by law, you do not own your game. Steam owns your game and you're leasing it. But at that same point, you still get to play it years to come. The only way you can lose it, the only way you could lose the game is if the game developer says, no, I don't want that game on the store anymore. You're done with it. Or,
well, the thing is, too, even when a game's removed off the Steam market, though, if you have it bought already, it stays in your library.
Exactly.
So, you know, once it's posted on the Steam, it's always yours as long as you have Steam. And, you know, I don't think there's any, I don't think Steam's going anywhere anytime soon. And if they do, I'm sure they would, you know, create some sort of system where you can still download the games to your device, right?
Absolutely.
I think that
I just think that he's really trying to compare apples to oranges, and it's impossible to do here.
Well, you didn't let me.
No, not you. I'm talking about the person, the CEO.
Oh. Yeah.
But what? Go ahead and finish, Duckwood.
No, I mean you kind of made like the point, but what I was like trying to explain in a difficult way. I suck at explaining things though. Is basically, you know, what I'm saying is it's probably gonna end up. It might blow up and everyone will like never get to see that it will be on a decline. But much like how Netflix and every other streaming service are having their issues right now, it'll probably start killing off a lot of new coming gamers, you know? Same way the other streaming services are killing off people's ability to like watch TV and movies. I know those are completely different things, but at the end of the day, it's all entertainment.
I see what you mean. I think that well, the thing is, I think they would lose incoming new viewers. They might gain actually some new players doing a system like that. They would definitely lose old players. And definitely lose a lot of old game players. Who I could see, like I said, boycotting it. But I honestly, I think
gosh,
I
that
had to
was
guess.
a speed run. Oh my gosh.
If I had to guess, this guy does not know. This guy is a.
He's a CEO
He's a
and he's not a
salesman,
gamer.
man. He's a CEO.
He's a CEO,
Yeah,
not
he
a
doesn't
gamer.
play games. Like his opinion's not one that gamers should be listening to. He's in it. Like, I mean, listen, man. Any company is in it for the money. That's one thing to be clear about. And there are like companies that obviously care for their player base. And I'm sure he cares for his player base. This guy also cares about money, and he knows nothing about his player base. If I had to guess, based on that just the idea of even mentioning that. So,
Absolutely.
you know, I don't think he's something that should be listening to in the slightest.
For sure.
Yeah, and I mean this isn't really even a new thing. There are games that do require like subscription services. Like the perfect example is World of Warcraft, and yeah, that is successful.
But you still own the game.
The
Yeah.
minority. Oh. But and also the thing about World of Warcraft too is that it was like I mean, how long ago did it come out? Over 15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
15, 20 years ago. And it is extremely successful. But that was also like, you know, early in
A
enough
long
in the
time
industry where I
ago.
didn't think it. Yeah, I don't think it mattered.
There
And
was
now it
no
just kinda holds up
industry
with its same
standard at
player
that
base.
time.
Exactly.
There was no industry standard.
And also, I don't think World of Warcraft is a game that gets new players. Like, I think it's had the
No.
same player base, you know, and they kind of stick with that. So,
Yeah.
but I do see what you mean with World of
And
Warcraft.
it's mainly an older audience too. Like, my argument is basically there are a lot of older people over there who still don't understand gaming that are in our generation. I know it might like be a shocker, but there is a large majority. You just don't hear about them because they're also not on the internet and all that don't play games, you know, and it'll scare like how are basically what I'm trying to say is like how are like younger audiences supposed to, you know, gonna get into, if that's like the only thing, I don't see how like younger audiences are gonna be able to become a part of that, you know.
Well, you know, I think it could. I actually take a different take because I think that it'll be more captivating for a younger audience. Because if you look at this new generation, I feel like they're a lot more about. I feel like they're a lot more about. Oh my gosh, you know, I get this. I get so many different. Like I can play so many different games. I don't think they care about owning something. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it'll lose new viewers. Because just looking at this. Just looking at this generation, man, I don't think that that's something that is as much of a priority as it is.
Yeah.
And that's also, I think, because when games were around, that was the standard it was in, is the standard we've created of you always own them. But kids are created in this new standard, and it's like that was never something that it always was. Because they come and do it, and it's like, yeah, you can do that, but you can also just have all these games. And it's like, well, you know, when you're a little kid, man, what becomes more enticing? Having a bunch of games or paying $60 for one, right? So I actually think that that's how it's going to take over, is with this newer generation.
I see what you mean. I see where you're coming from. We'll just have to see, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be years before we know the answer to that. But
Yeah, I know. It's things are crazy now. So
but, yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, that one was difficult. What we got next, Brody?
My biggest and final topic, and this is a full topic, I'm gonna get into after I mention this quick thing that me and Cyril actually learned of at the same time, and I want to just say R.I.P. to Adam from Pawn Stars. He was 39 years old. We don't know all of the specifics of his death yet, and so I don't want to comment much on it. But that R.I.P. I mean, I grew up watching that show. That's a big deal that he passed. I also want to say, hopefully, his brother and dad are able to recover from their brother and loved ones passing. So that was my main thing that I wanted to say.
Very sad.
Very, very sad. And hopefully they can find peace at this trying time.
What? Yeah, you know, very, like, obviously, like, that's not a show that's talked, I feel like, at least, that's not a show that's talked about as much anymore, but for a while, that was a very, I mean,
that was
very, very large show. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people watch that show.
I don't know, I wonder how this will affect, I wonder if the show will be ending soon because of this, you know? And obviously prayers and condolences out to the family.
Yeah, and I would hope that the show
sad.
doesn't end as well. I mean, that's a banging show. I still watch it occasionally with my dad, so.
Really?
My dad is a Pawn Starry, I guess, if that's what they call their fan base. I don't know what they call their fan base really. But yeah, big deal. That's a big thing I wanted to touch on. And then the final thing I wanted to touch on was something that our manager at Dutch Bros actually brought up to me. So she said that according to a recent news article, Stanley Cups can give you lead poisoning. And this isn't just like a small thing. This is a big thing. Everybody knows the Stanley Cups are huge now. everybody talks about them. Everybody uses them. Everybody is buying them. I made a video about a $300 Stanley Cup, and according
Starbucks still had
to
one? Was that what it was?
yeah, Starbucks had one.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
It was $300, and people were getting stampeded for it. There'll be no, very fortunately, there was no injuries, like major injuries from that. But that is definitely a sad thing that people are getting hurt from that.
But you know, with how big of a brand they're becoming, that's a really big deal, dude. I feel like I've heard about some sort. I mean, dude, it's funny because like a year ago, like I didn't know what a Stanley Cup was. I just heard some people talking about it. I remember asking about what it was to my coworkers at Starbucks, and because they did their first Stanley collab, and now I hear about it all the time, man. Because there's just everyone's talking about wanting to get a Stanley Cup, or all sorts of stuff. So you know, it's really crazy to see, and like I see like a lot of my own friends and family always having them. So that's very terrifying to see. If it's you know, causing lead poisoning.
Yeah, it's
4, 3,
no way.
1. Finish. You.
What?
Damn, right at the entrance.
That's messed up. That's messed up. This game hates me. This game hates me. So what the research that I saw though, and I think this is kind of a killer for Stanley Cup, honestly. Like it could genuinely end the brand, it could end the image, it could end everything. They're seen as a cup that keeps things warm. And if they don't fix this problem, then it will be a larger problem. Basically, if your Stanley Cup has been dropped, there is a little piece of adhesive that keeps the lead out of your drink. If you drop it hard enough, it no longer is there. It'll rub off, it'll go away, and you can get lead poisoning.
And it can be in the part that you drink or consume, obviously.
Absolutely. And
Dude,
it's terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. And I don't think everybody has lead testing kits, and so most likely people are going to be coming out more and more with this as more people get it. According to what I saw, it is a nearly lethal dose of lead poisoning for young children. Which, let's be honest, that's the majority of people that are getting it are people that are under 13. My little sister has one herself. And it's a nearly lethal dosage for anybody under the age of like 6. And it's a heavy dose for anybody else, you know?
Wow, dude, that's actually terrifying. So,
Yeah, extremely.
Man, and you know, I feel like a lot of the times I see those, they have been to them too. Just like, you know.
Oh, come
like,
and get
I
it, buddy.
Like
Come.
things are dropping all the time, bro.
Sorry, that's not the topic's not funny, but that was sorry. Yeah, but lead poisoning sucks.
Yeah, but yeah, I hope that people are okay. I hope that Stanley fixes this issue. I don't think it's a absolute ending issue as long as they fix it promptly.
I don't think it will. I wonder how much it'll be talked about at all.
I doubt much. I mean, it's only like the biggest amount of risk it is for super young people, so it doesn't really even like it won't matter.
It's not like a high enough amount.
Yeah, it's not a high enough amount. Like, I mean, obviously you don't want to be drinking lead. That's not good for you.
What, right.
But it's not a high enough amount for anybody over like 6. I know I kind of introduced it as the killer of Stanley Cup, but that's because I was kind of playing into the meme a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but that's about all I have to talk about for now. So,
bro, we got our weekly Kanye West segment. We still gotta get to.
Oh yeah, weekly Kanye West mention. Weekly Kanye West mention. Forgot about that. Cyril, you want to bring us into this new week with a Kanye West thing?
Oh, I'd love to. Well, there's a couple things. For starters, album got delayed, of course, again. That's a surprise to absolutely no one. I don't remember exact date. It's like middle of February, around there. But basically, start us off. Kanye West has gotten implants on his teeth. Titanium. They're like titanium grills or vernaculars that are permanently permanently connected to his teeth. There's a rumor going around that he got his teeth removed and put in. That's not true. Just so you know. It is one that he designed himself. It is $850,000 worth of titanium in his mouth. And yeah, he said he posted pictures showing that he based it off of Jaws from 007, the old 007 movies.
Interesting.
A character named Jaws. And yeah, so interesting stuff. If you've seen them, they look very goofy. Not gonna lie, they look kind of like sharpish, I guess. Worth taking a look at. But anyways, aside from that, we got Kanye West posting more half-naked pictures of his wife on Instagram.
Oh.
Go figure.
Again.
And she looked like Kim.
And she looks just like Kim Kardashian. Off-brand. Very, kind of concerning, kind of sad. We all know that Kanye West is in a,
Not a great space.
not a great state, or is he usually ever. But, and that, actually, there's one more part I forgot to leave out. So, as you guys might have seen, Kanye West issued an apology. I think we discussed it, an apology
We
a
did
couple
not
weeks back.
discuss it. We didn't discuss it.
Really?
No,
Oh,
I don't
well,
think
he
we
made
did.
an apology a couple weeks back, and he typed it out in Yiddish. And it was an apology to the Jewish community. And so that was about a couple weeks ago. Now there is a leak saying he has a 40-minute long video coming out, a 40-minute long apology video that's supposed to be coming before his album comes out. So we'll see where he ends up going with that. But
What? I was spamming D. Okay, sorry.
what?
Yeah. I just hope that he is in a right mental space, obviously. And I also hope that his apology to the Jewish community is taken well, and it means well as well. Awesome.
Right, not just any sort of excuse or like way to cop out, like in order to make sales and stuff. I hope it's a genuine apology.
10, 9,
No way. I'm good.
7,
We really don't know what happened, I guess. It's freaking Kanye West. Anything could happen. But yeah, that's it for the weekly Kanye segment.
It is. All right, and great time. We lose.
Oh, I lost.
All right, see you guys later. This was Brody2WD, Sism, and Nuckwit with another Internet Culture Podcast official name never changing it again. See you B-dubs
Boom.
later.